Edinburgh Reporter was invited down to Joppa to meet up with Jackie Holt and Ruth Bailey, who've just published their second book. Their book is full of knitting patterns from which you'll be able to create figures which they consider iconic. We caught up with them knitting in the sunshine and asked them first of all what had inspired them to write a book called Knit Your Own Britain.
Yes. I think it started probably when I was, one of my sisters gave me a book for my birthday one year, and it was Knit Your Own Cat, because I have a cat and I adore cats, and I was showing it to Ruth and we were laughing about it, and we just got onto that silly thing of, well, what else could you be knitting? And we had this really stupid situation where we were giggling over coffee.
We just wrote a list down. Immediately then and there we wrote a list down, and there was all sorts of things included on that list, small and large, from a Tunnock's tea cake to the Forth Road Bridge and the Scott Monument. Things that Britain is famous for, things like its pop music, its politics, and we also wanted to bring in theatre and film and entertainment, because it's also famous for entertainment.
So I start with knowing, because I know the shapes of the garments that we want to create for people. So start knitting it, in every row I write down what it is that I've done, how many stitches I've knitted, how many stitches I've purled, if I've increased or decreased.
You couldn't really not do Henry VIII with because of he's such a historical strong figure.
And it's just such a famous painting that we took it from. This is an example of one that's slightly more complicated. I knitted his pattern for his jacket as completely plain knitting, and then having decided exactly how many stitches on every row, then that's where I started putting in the ribs. So this one will probably take about 3 days to knit all the pieces for him, and then generally it goes over to Ruth, who makes him look like the person that we're trying to create.
After I have all the pieces, I would say 3 days again to put him together and make him beautiful. Working on these two books, we went off on a tangent. What we do day to day is work in 3D in theatre. I make props. Jackie works on costume in the main, and for us it was something that was fantastical. It was going off on a different road, and it was a challenge. It was such a challenge to see, could we do this, and we've been constantly amused ever since we started. We would be really happy if people had as much fun as we did by buying our book and knitting up some of the patterns.
And please send us pictures
of
all your creations. We've had a huge amount of fun doing it.